Yes, and welcome back to Normski TV, another What's Going On podcast. And if you're new for the first time, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share on the road to 300. Just like to thank everybody that will be tuning in. Hopefully, nobody's in the chat at the moment, but hopefully, the first one that comes in, you know what prize you're going to get. PS4 on its way to you, but in 10 years' time. Yeah. Last week it was Tom Strong. A couple of weeks before it was Craig. I haven't seen him in the chat yet. Normally see my little sis come in as well. So let's see how we go with this program today. And obviously it's the What's Going On podcast. There's so much to talk about. Hoping to have, we may possibly have Dave from Dubai coming on. There was a bit of a backward spat between him and Kofi with regards to the better manager Klopp and Tuchel. At the moment, Chelsea going through a bit of turmoil with regards to their club, with regards to Abramovich wanting his money back. So a lot of things to talk about concerning that. And obviously, we got a lot to talk about with regards to the show. So actually, the theme of the show is obviously what's Arsenal secure a European place, but can they finish the job and finish third place losers? That's one of the things that we'll be talking about, one of the main topics we'll be talking about. Also, we'll be looking at, will CR7 be happy to slug it out in the Europa or possibly Conference League? Man United currently on 50, I think it's 58 points, one of the lowest points tally of the season. They could finish, if they win both their away games, on 64 points. But they've got two, especially I think Crystal Palace will probably be the tougher away game. Also, we're going to be looking at the ref check, just looking at some of the decisions that were made, whether we feel that, it was the decisions were right or correct during some of the games, the Liverpool game, Arsenal game. We will be looking at some of those ref decisions there. Also, Ralph, this is again Big D's interim manager. Ralph saying it's saying it as it is, if I can get my words out. There needs to be an upgrading right across the actual club with regards to Man United, except De Gea. And then you've got who wins the title, and can Lampard save Everton? It's going to be epic. It's going to be proper epic. Can Lampard save Everton? They did beat Chelsea at their ground. A lot of time wasting going on, but it is what it is. We are going to be talking all things football. Mate, Geezer. First one in. PS2 coming to you, as I said, in 10 years' time, bro. Yeah, 206, man. Those were the days, brother. Those were the days. Yeah, Champions League final. Obviously, we didn't win it, but it is what it is, mate. Last, season at the Emirates, boy, it is what it is. But yeah, mate, you got to hold on to these nostalgic shirts, man, because right now Arsenal ain't doing it right now. I know you're an Arteta man, so I'm sure you'll be putting in your comments in there. But listen, without further ado, I am going to bring in Mr. Big D. Yes, Mr. Big D, welcome.
Yes,
to the What's Going On podcast. You good?
Yeah. Is that any better on the volume?
Yeah. Volume is good. Volume is good. Lighting could be better, but listen, we can't ask for too much. You know what I mean?
Lighting's a bit shady.
It's probably what's the geezer's name? Slabhead's probably standing in front of the sun, so that's probably why.
He's messing with me, mate. He knows I'm on tonight, innit? He's trying to
you know the way there. But Big D, Geezer saying hello to you, bro.
Yes, Thomas, respect.
Yeah. So listen, D, I'm gonna ask how you're doing, how's the weekend been, how's life? How's Man U?
Yeah, life is good. The weekends, like I say, they go so quickly. So much to do, but everything's good. Like I was saying to you earlier, Sheen's gone for a little vacation. Yeah, catch up with their people. So I dropped her to the airport today.
Yeah.
After working last night, and then it was just a mad one, and then back in tonight. So
left you on your lonesome.
Left me home alone, man.
Home alone.
This was the thing. When I lived in St. Lucia, Sheena travels so much that the band nicknamed me Home Alone. You know, that ones they used to run joke on me like I'd be like, yes, Home Alone. What are you saying? I'd be like, nah, that's funny, man.
That was a great film, mate. I tell you, that Home Alone thing. With Macaulay. What's his name? Macaulay. The guy that played it. The guy. He was. I tell you, I remember watching that as a mere youngster. You know, so many years ago. You know what I mean? But still fresh in the old head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But listen, D. So much has happened, you know, over the past week and the weekend with regards to football. Last night watching Liverpool make it to the Champions League final for a third time under Klopp. They're just doing the bits right now. Possibly on still for a quadruple. They're now in three? They've been in now 3 finals, winning obviously the Carabao Cup against Chelsea, and now they're in the final for the FA Cup with Chelsea, and now they're in the final for the Champions League. Who are they going to play? Who knows? Real Madrid play Man City this evening on a knife edge. Man City edging that game 4-3. Who is going to come out the winners of that game? I mean, as a matter of fact, let's just quickly talk about that before we talk about the old Chelsea saga. What are your thoughts on the game tonight? What's your thoughts?
They have to contain Benzema, and I think that is key because City, as they've proven all season, without a striker, they've got goals in them. You know what I mean? Across the way they can rotate that from 3, a bit like Liverpool, really. That they've kind of got away with not having a actual out and out. And then Jesus, to be fair, when he's been thrown in, he's been scoring. So, you know what I mean? So for me, I think their success is containing Benzema. If they can contain him, they win this game. If they don't, man, that's a 50-50 down. You know what I mean? I wouldn't like to. I wouldn't bet my house on it. You know.
I was going to say, overall, though, do you think that Man City? I mean, in terms of who's the better side? I mean, when you look at across the pitch, in the midfield, the defense. I mean, you know, you've got an aging defense with Real Madrid and their midfield as well. But as you said, Benzema, he's dangerous. You know what I mean?
He's definitely been the real deal. If you look at squad depth, you have to go with City, because hopefully Pep doesn't overthink it and change it up when he needs to change it up. When in the past he's been stubborn and it's cost him. So I think he knows that he's just got to look at the squad and know that whoever's number is up and he calls them, he's got to trust them to deliver for him rather than sticking with it, and then panicking and expecting people to come on in 3 or 4 minutes or 5 minutes and change the game. It's not going to happen. So, I mean, like I say, Liverpool rode their luck yesterday, and there was some questionable decisions, but let me leave that alone. I'm not trying to be bitter. You know what I mean?
I was going to say,
but this is what you need, though, Norm. In a season like this, when we did the treble, we rode our luck so many times, Norm. And Liverpool rode their luck last night, and fair play to them. That's what has to happen. That a little bit of luck, the odd decision where you think that is blatantly offside and they get away with it. Fair play to them.
Listen, Dave, Mr. Thomas, Dave Tuchel, who was out in Dubai, going backwards and forwards with Kofi Klopp with regards to some of the decisions. And I think, do you think there were some sort of dodgy decisions last night with regards to the offside? I did. So I didn't get to see the game in its all entirety because I was engaged with other things.
Yeah, Mane blatantly went early, got away with it, and that's what you need sometimes, Norm.
Yeah,
when you're going on all fronts like that, where you get a decision, you know what I mean? Like you poker face it, you behave like I wasn't offside. Nah, bro, no. I timed it right when he full and well know he was.
Yeah,
but that's what you need to have a season like that they're having, because they're playing some good football, and you know what I mean. And I think as well, when you're playing good football, then you do get the rub of the green when it comes to the refs and certain split decisions where you say, "Yeah, I'm not too sure," but the ref is like, "Yeah, the ball is Liverpool."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you know that team already. Like they're quite a physical. I'm gonna be kind and say a physical team, and so they run the antics as they always are, and that's the way he plays. That's the way he sets up. Very much a counter-attacking, defensive-minded team. But it's worked for him. He's done well with them. So
yeah.
You know what?
I mean, going 2-0 up, and you're thinking, oh my God, could this be the upset? You know what I mean?
Right.
Probably Real Madrid or Man City were probably rubbing their hands together, thinking, "Whoa," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, they beat. I think they probably had a more tougher run in than Liverpool in terms of because they beat Bayern Munich,
right?
Even though they had lost to Man United in the group stages, but they beat Bayern Munich on their journey to make it, to the semi-finals. And Unai Emery, I mean, listen, they got to be proud of their team. They set up in a 4-4-2 formation. They basically, somebody was saying, I was watching the actual punditry, and they were saying that is this the blueprint in terms of how you play Liverpool? Now I don't know whether Villarreal ran out of steam or they decided to just go back in their shell to try and preserve that 2-0, but you don't do that against Liverpool because literally.
No,
and to be honest, the 3 goals that were conceded, I don't know if you saw the goals. The goalkeeper, I don't know what he was doing from, for the first goal.
But like you say, the moment you go 2-0 up and then you say, well, you invite the pressure on. Yeah, when I think, you know what, don't do that, because I think that is straight away. They have enough players to unlock teams when the teams sit in those 2 banks of 4. And you know what I mean? And so when I saw that, I thought, this ain't over. And very rarely Liverpool do not score. You know what I'm saying? We've watched them over the last 4 or 5 years, and they get their goal difference up in the league, so they're a scoring team. And I think that was the mistake, trying to shut up shop with that score.
I think what made the difference yesterday, because as I said, the first half, they were not at the races. They were all over the place, and Kofi was texting me. And he was saying that he needs to change something. You know what I mean? He needs to get some of these players off. Thiago was losing the ball. The defense was all over the shop. Robertson losing his man, Trent losing his man. For the 2 goals. And literally, it was like, got to get these guys into the changing room. Don't know what Klopp said to them, but I think there was a combination of Klopp would have put the rocket up there, but at the same time, I think Villarreal sort of kind of went back into their shell, and that kind of made it more easier for Liverpool, despite the goals being, gifted to them. Pretty much all 3 goals. Do you know what I mean? Kind of made a difference when he came on. He stretched the pitch, scored a goal as well, and the rest is history. And
you look at that as well, Norm. You look at that this season. Acquiring the likes of a Diaz has really given them more options and an actual bench that you can say, look who's on the bench. And so it's a lot of times it's a case of if and when do I flip the script and say, right, because especially with Mane and Salah, whenever he tugs them, they really get in their feelings, And you have to remember, it's a team thing. They're trying to win a team thing. And sometimes, like Fergie did it. Dwight York off, Andy Cole off, sharing them on, Solskjaer on. It don't matter that you're the main man. Sometimes you got to get tugged just to flip that switch. And so he was right in doing that.
Yeah. Do you think it's healthy competition, though, between Mane and...
It is.
Because, some people have got this thing about, Mane and Salah, they don't seem to look like they're friends. I mean, obviously it's good to know that they want to outscore each other, but I mean, there's been a few times, especially when Mane gets the tug, he doesn't always seem to be an happy bunny. Do you know what I mean?
Because I think sometimes he feels like Well, for me, sometimes I actually think that Mane gives more to the team defensively. Yeah, sometimes you can watch Mo looking a bit lost out
Oh
there,
my God.
and then suddenly
Oh
he's
my
banging it.
God.
What happened?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on. Steve, wait there. There's somebody on there. There's somebody on there, right? Hold on. Because I said I have to get this guy on. Yeah, even if it's for 15 minutes, right? I've got to text Kofi. Yeah. Let me just bring this guy in. The man from Dubai.
What's going on, bro?
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing,
Dave,
Norms?
welcome
Big
to the
D?
show. Welcome to the
man.
show. Dave, I would have thought you would have had changed your surname because I know when you first came on, you know, back in the summer, your name was David Tuchel, and now
Listen, I'm still backing him. You know, he's gone through a lot. Do you know what I mean? So I've got to give him credit. But yeah.
Big up, Craig. Welcome to the show.
Cool.
And Dave, Craig, you may not know this gentleman that's on your box. He's one of the originals, the original OG, Mr. Thomas Tuchel Davies. Yeah, Chelsea man. Yeah, said a certain few things at the start of the season. We've got this. That was one of the things he said. Best defense in the world. A number of things. I need to get Kofi on. I need to get Kofi
Get him on, please.
So
get him on.
Listen, so guys, just entertain yourselves. Yeah, talk to the. Listen, just have a conversation between you two while I get Kofi on, bro. Yeah. You have a conversation while I get Kofi on.
Wow.
I was gonna say I'm surprised Kofi's not on already because normally Kofi jumps on when Liverpool wins. So
yeah, I think he's on his en route home. So
is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Norman said they came up to an event in London today. So he's en route home.
Okay.
So hopefully he's going to be on around 7.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
hopefully
perfect.
by the time he gets in, he's going to go on. So you gotta just be there to give him some licks when he comes on, man.
I can't listen. I'm waiting. I am waiting. I'm waiting for it.
I was just saying to Norman that Liverpool rode their luck yesterday.
Again.
And when you're playing well, you are going to get those referee calls. Because beyond you, I looked at the Mane offside, and it was offside. You know, but every Liverpool fan will say, "Gee, you're hating, bro." But no. They ran with the luck, and the referee bottled it because it's Liverpool, isn't it? And to be fair, when we were winning, there was some decisions that went our way in Fergie time and all them things.
Yeah.
And we rode that luck. So I'm not going to even hate on them for riding their luck. You know what I mean? Because you get the rub of the green when you're on that momentum is with you. So Klopp is a brilliant tactician. Yeah, so he has to be running a team like Liverpool. You got to know what he's doing to switch it up. Yes, Junior, what are you saying? Man like Junior Martin in the house. Good to see you, sir. But so Normski is just trying to send out an invite to Kofi to make sure that he comes on as we have Dave on from Dubai, and we'll let the Chelsea and the Liverpool man slug it out for a minute. But we are. Yeah, it's going to be interesting with the Champions League because City have all the tools, as I said before, to bring them to a very good place, and we're hoping that he doesn't bottle it. You know, Pep in the past has overthought semi-finals, so we're hoping that he just does what Man City do. I like to say, and as a Manchester Red, that hurts me to say that, but you know what? I'd rather that trophy stay in Manchester, albeit the blue side of Manchester. And you can say I'm hating, but you know what? You know, if you're a true Man United fan, you know there's no love lost between Manchester United and Liverpool in that sense. Like for me, I always consider that the derby, and as in when it comes to a team that you need to beat every season, whether it be home and away, is Liverpool, and you will see how they manhandled us, dismantled us, disrespected us this season. Had to take that as a United fan. I had to take it. There's no point crying into the spilt milk. The milk was spilt. The milk was sour. And that's what we had to do. Anyway, I don't know where these two are gone, leaving me hanging, man. Just rolling live, hanging. But it's all good. It's all good. What's Craig saying? Can City stop Real Madrid scoring tonight? I can't see it. Craig, this is what we spoke about just a while ago that they have to contain Benzema. This guy is on the form of his life right now, and he's hungry. You know what I mean? Because you have to remember, he was in that Ronaldo shadow for so long, and then when Ronaldo left, you know what? You know, even I think when Ronaldo left, I think that Benzema went back to the French squad because he'd fallen out. He wasn't even playing for France, but I think all of it has kind of fallen in place for him, going back to play for France, being the main man, leading the line at Real Madrid. And it's going to be exciting. I know we're on here now, and I'm not sure what time my game starts. It might be quarter to 8 or 8 o'clock. But yeah, Craig, it's going to be, to stop Real Madrid scoring, it's going to be a mad one. Yeah, no, good to have you back, mate.
Bro. Sorry, I had to do some dealings going on here, right? Kofi just called me.
Mate. Yeah, it's all good.
Dave has just had a call coming. So listen. Yeah. I just need these two to just spat it out. They've been going at each other over the weekend. If I'm probably just going to just share some of the chat. It's nothing vulgar. It's good old banter. Good old banter. But yeah, big up again to Junior. I don't know if I said hi to you, but Junior, bro, good to see you. Listen, if Arsenal do qualify for the Champions League, will they be in a good position to entice quality players? Well, let's hope so. But the problem is that you've got Arteta at the helm. That is the problem. Whether he can get these guys to the club is another thing.
And hopefully he's already looking, you know. Man like Calvin Robb in the house.
You know that, man. Big Tottenham supporter. Right, Kofi Klopp is just coming into the building. Okay. Hopefully Dave will be coming off his call, but I'm just going to bring in Kofi Klopp.
Man, like Kofi.
Hey.
How you say, bro?
What's up? I'm good. I literally just got in.
Literally, we was out stuffing our face today. So, listen.
Hello.
Sorry, chaps. A call came in.
That's all right. That's all good, bro.
Yeah, it was probably another VAR decision for Liverpool. So
yeah.
Listen. We are the best of the offside, and VAR is just another additional thing just to.
So wait, what? You're the best at what?
Offsides. You know, we've mastered the offside, man.
What? Yeah, being offside.
Being offside, yeah.
Yeah.
Catching teams offside. Catching
the guy in the studio as well.
Catching teams offside. You know, we've mastered it. You know.
Kofi, you have to be honest and know that you rode some serious luck yesterday. And that's not coming from a place I hate, you know, because I've loved to watch the football that Liverpool and Man City have played this season. But like I said, both to Norman and to Dave earlier, that when you've got the momentum, like the referee tends to turn a blind eye to some blatant stuff just because the momentum of the teams and the way they're playing. So you're going to find that Liverpool and City will get decisions home and away that any other team in the league is not going to get, whether that's Champions League or in the league. So fair play to you, bro. I'm not, you know what I mean? That's what it is. That's what you get for having a team being consistent, that the referee will say, oh, that was close. I ain't giving that. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is, because you have to remember, in our treble season, we had some questionable decisions that went our way in the Fergie time thing. And I just thought, oh, this might not go our way. And it goes our way, and I think, thank God for that, because we're on for the treble. So I hear you, man. I hear you, Kofi. There's no hate, man. I've been in that position. It's nice to have been in that position that the referee just says, nah, I'm gonna let them have that one, because they're rolling with the momentum right now.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I have a team that actually can get out of difficult situations and, you know, put the game to bed.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So why Dave has come on just to have a conversation with Cole? Some stuff was gone back.
No, I've come on just to join. Yeah, I've come on just to join and just to make sure that, you know, Kofi doesn't keep running his mouth. That's what I just come on for.
Oh dear, David, the way
I'm partaking in the discussion. I'm partaking in the discussion. That's all I'm doing.
If Norman tells us about the forwarding messages that you've been sending across
Absolutely.
And you're stewing. I
let's take one of the points that David sent across. He says, "Is Inter Milan, Benfica, and Villarreal the easiest UCL run into the final in the past 2 decades? That's my opinion," Dave says. And he says, "Ask him that." Dave, you can ask him that.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, like, Cove, look, end of the day, first of all, I've got to say congratulations. Well done for getting into the Champions League final. Third final in 5 years.
Look at his face.
Yep. Look, third final in 5 years.
It's three finals in Klopp's time.
All right. Am I allowed to finish my sentence, or I don't understand?
Go on.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, well done, congratulations. But my question is, when you look at the Champions League route, it's, in my eyes, it's probably the easiest route that potential winner has ever had, going into the final and then winning it. Would you agree, or would you disagree?
Honestly, I mean, it is. It's just the luck of the draw, to be honest. We're not the one choosing, but you just got to take who's in front of you.
But so you would agree on that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, that's all. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to know, because that's why I put the question to Normski.
So just out of there was a discussion about the managers in terms of, Kofi did disclose some stuff to me today with regards to Dave running his mouth. I don't know if you want to emphasize, Kofi. Do you want to say what you said to me today, just to put things into perspective so that the audience out there?
I mean, regarding
respectively, please, respectively.
Yeah, everything is respected. Regarding the conversation that David posed about the 2 managers, Pep and Klopp, currently being the best managers in the world. I mean, in some of his arguments, I would agree that there have been better managers in their times in terms of what they have done over that period. But I will say that, with regards to like Chelsea, they started off this, big spend on players because Roman Abramovich came in and rescued Chelsea Football Club.
No, I have to correct you there. And I tell you what, I'm going to correct you, because we went and blew 30 mil on Rio Ferdinand. I lost my mind because teams were paying 30 mil for strikers, and we paid 30 for Rio. And I went, what are we doing here? And his wages was insane. And then once that Rio transfer went through and Chelsea got the money, then everyone started doing it. Then Man City came and started spending 50 million on right backs. And I'm like, Lord of mercy,
but Chelsea literally were buying players 25 mil. During that time when Abramovich took over, the whole squad, most of the squad, was 25 million. If you look at all the players that they have bought significantly that have helped shape Chelsea, with about 25 million each player. And
they kind of set the precedent in it with regards to the big spend.
Would you
agree, Dave?
To some extent. You've got the likes of the Real. No, you've got the likes of the Real Madrids, that were spending heavy back then. The AC Milans, who are European giants, and the Barcelonas, they were spending heavy. And as Big D just said as well, Man United was spending a lot back then. However, what I have got to give credit for is how we financially managed ourselves, and on top of that is the instant success that came from that, and then we maintained it up until nowadays, because you look at Man City, it took them a good 4 to 5 years to really get going. I think it took them 4 years to win a trophy. I think it was the FA Cup, and then the season after that they won the Premier League, and that took 5 years after their takeover.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that if you didn't have that financial backing like what you've had from Abramovich, you wouldn't be where you are.
But what you got to look at, it's not just financial backing. It's also being ruthless. It's about when managers aren't, pulling their weight, getting rid of them, getting someone else in to do the job. And that's that's the sort of owner that we've had over the many years that has also helped and adapted the football club. The football club is a complete business, which are most clubs anyway that we know of. But for me, it wasn't just him coming in saying there's 1 billion to spend and spend it aimlessly. He asked the managers who they wanted, they told them, and they brought the players. And Chelsea were the most decorated club in the trophy cabinet of the last decade. We won the most trophies in the whole of the UK. So you've got to put that into consideration, that Abramovich didn't just come and was just spending needlessly. He wanted to build an empire.
Yeah, but to build an empire, you've got to spend a lot. And you've got to spend it fairly quickly.
Yeah, we did that. But on top of that, what I'm trying to say is that we were able to obviously sustain our foundation, winning trophies, winning titles, X, Y, and Z. It wasn't a case of just aimlessly spending money for no reason. When you look at the likes of Barcelona buying Coutinho for 150 million, that sort of spending really wasn't happening back then. We were buying the Drogbas, we were buying the likes of the Jeremys, the Makaleles, the Damien Duffs, etc. We were buying the Robins who were winning us trophies and titles. That's what I'm trying to say. We were building our foundation.
Right. So Dave, something you just said then, the Coutinho, right? Because for me, the Coutinho sale allowed Klopp to do 3 key things in strengthening that team. So the question is to Kofi, if you don't sell Coutinho and buy the goalkeeper, Van Dijk and whatever, does that story change?
Yeah. Okay, question here.
Your owners are very frugal, very tight-fisted with how they spend their money. And having that money to just say to Klopp,
can I just come in here? I think what Kofi is trying to say with regards to the way most clubs spend their money, Arsenal, Man United, we are self-sustaining club, whereas as opposed to, I would say, Chelsea have picked up a sugar daddy. Same probably for Man City.
But not really, though.
Let me just finish. Let me just get a word in edgeways there. Yeah, thank you. Right. So I think what Kofi's trying to say here is that, okay, D brought it up. Yeah, you got Coutinho in. Yeah, your owners are not the people to sort of throw money. They will probably make their money off the success of Coutinho, the sales of Coutinho. Whereas when Abramovich came in, he just threw money at the club, and he obviously ain't throwing money at the club now because of the sanctions that is against him. So I think what Kofi is saying is that if they didn't have an Abramovich, the likelihood is that Chelsea would have got into administration, and there is a massive, big possibility. It could be just paper talk that they could go into administration, because now Abramovich is saying, he came out and said, oh, look, I don't want my £1.5 billion back. Now all of a sudden now news is coming out that he wants his £1.5 billion. Calvin Robb in the chat here said Rodriguez thinks he's jumping off a sinking ship. Is the ship sinking, Dave? Is the ship sinking? Because the way things are going right now, Abramovich wanting his money back, if that is the case, but he wants the money back. Are you a self-sustaining club?
No, of course Chelsea have been. If you look at the players that we've bought and sold, absolutely. Marina's done a really good job. You look at the amount of players. I sent you the picture of the net spend, right? We were number 7 on the list. Do you know what I mean? So when you're talking about buying all these players and whatnot, we have sold players in order to make money back. Chelsea's run like a proper business, So I think, when he first came in, like I said, he was buying players, but he was buying players to build an empire, which he did. In terms of Rudiger jumping ship, I was very disappointed that he did that personally. However, apparently, he wanted 200k at the start of the season. They didn't offer him the contract, right? So he's got his own reasons as to why he didn't sign. Because fair play to him, we actually didn't put pen to paper until most recently. He's been asking for a new deal for time. You know what I mean? And we didn't do that. So Go on.
Do you feel that he's your best central defender?
No, I think Thiago. No, I think Thiago Silva's better than him, but he's a massive character in the dressing room, and his ability. I think he's one of our best players, 100%. He's definitely our top 5 players.
Because he is a scoring defender as well. You just get
exactly.
Yeah,
he's gonna be honestly, he's gonna be a big miss, a huge miss. So for me, when you got the likes of players like him and Christensen who have already announced that they're leaving, don't play these guys, man. Like mentally, they've switched off. All of them. They've signed off. They're tapped out. Alonso, he's tapped out. Azpilicueta, he doesn't have the legs anymore. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's more. I think what happened was when you look at what happened at the Bernabeu, they gave all the efforts, and I think after that you kind of saw a complete demise of Chelsea. Like the players, they're playing as if they've got nothing to play for anymore. There's no hunger. I feel that we've digressed since last season. We didn't add to our squad in the way that we should have. Do you know what I mean? We've got my man playing with his Timberlands up front. So
90 million waste of money.
No, of course, 100%.
But Dave, as I say, I'd like to take you back to the start of the season when we did the show, and he was as confident as.
But I did say the one thing I did say. It all depends on whether Lukaku has a good season or not. That's the one thing I've always said from the beginning.
So how do you explain that we've got this? You made a statement.
Oh, come on. Yeah, of course. When you cannot score, when you've got a striker, a £90 million striker up top, who can't score, I'm telling you, it is difficult. You remember he started 10 games in a row.
Yeah, but Dave, you know what? We have been tagged with a £80 million defender that can't defend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you look at these monies now, you have to remember those players never asked to be bought for that. But the mere fact that they have to show better than what they're showing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no hiding place in the Premier League, and that's what I like about this league. That regardless of the price tag, if you're going to wear a captain's armband in any of our big clubs, and I'm going to say they're all big, they're all very big clubs, then boy, forget about the price tag. You're the captain. You have to perform.
Yeah.
But then I also think that sometimes Chelsea's systems doesn't always suit Lukaku.
Well, no, right now it doesn't. The way we play, absolutely not. But he was given a chance. He was given 10 games to prove himself. And like Dee said as well, they've got a defender that can't defend. We've got a striker that cannot score. You can't tell me Lukaku hasn't missed sitters. The guy has missed absolute sitters. Do you know what I mean? So he's been given the chance. He's played 10 games in a row. He started 10 games in a row, and he did nothing. So in all fairness, I feel...
he also made that bold statement.
Exactly.
He said he got unfinished business. That's why he's coming back. So
exactly,
finish all your dinner, even the bones.
And it made no sense. It made no sense because back then we were still in the title race. We just qualified to the knockout stages of the Champions League, and we were going into the semi-final of the League Cup.
Were you champions elect?
Sorry,
champions elect.
Look, Klopp's got the same legacy as Ranieri, mate. One trophy, one Premier League title. So if I was you, I wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, but the way you were gassing,
he's got the same legacy as Claudio Ranieri. One Premier League title.
Listen, bro. Okay. See? The way you were gassing.
Okay. All I said, he's got the same legacy as Ranieri. One Premier League title. That's all I'm saying.
Here's some stats. Guys, hold on. Here's some stats for you here. But Mourinho, 35 trophies, won the treble. Guardiola, 32 trophies, won the treble. Ferguson, 47 trophies, won the treble. Klopp, 10 trophies. So he's got to win a treble, or he's got to win a quadruple, whatever you lot go for.
Yeah,
you have to say,
Klopp can't listen.
Was Wenger in there by any chance? Wenger?
No, unfortunately, no. Sorry, bro.
What that? Listen, Klopp can't sit on their table right now, and that's what I said. I said, right now in the world, yes, he's one of the best managers in the world, hands down, right now. But when it comes to legacy and when it comes to achievements and whatnot, Klopp cannot sit on the table of Mourinho's and the Sir Alex's and the Peps and also the Wengers and the Ancelottis. He ain't there. He's not there.
Mourinho wouldn't have had the opportunity unless he had the money to spend.
Yo, bro,
he won
the
Champions League with Porto.
Porto,
and he won the
come on,
Europa
man.
League
Okay.
3 times in a row.
Right. Let's not get that twisted there, Kofi, man.
Guys, do you want to just read that statement?
He won.
Kofi, are you actually right?
Porto, brethren. You got to respect that because no one was talking about Porto when Mourinho did that with Porto. No one was talking about Porto.
Right.
And there's no way he got the money.
And Porto didn't have the money.
Yeah.
In fairness, Kofi, you know what I mean?
So, love Maureen or hate him, you got to tip your hat to him. Just for that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's all I had to say. And that's what I said, Norms. I didn't say he's not one of the best right now. I just said in terms of legacy and achievements, he ain't there yet. That's all. Okay.
Question in the chat here. Do you think a big club in Europe might try and poach Mr. Thomas Tuchel?
Who's a big PSG?
Well, he's been there already, hasn't he?
Yeah, I can't see any other.
He wasn't really. The relationship there wasn't that brilliant.
No, I can't see who else right now. But he wants to stay. I've got to give it to Tuchel because.
A question for you, Dave.
Through everything.
Dave, if Abramovich was in charge now with the form that your team is on, do you think?
No, he'll still be there. Yeah, he'll be there still. Yeah. Look,
I mean, guys, put in the chat. What do you think if Thomas Tuchel, the way he's performing now, do you think Roman Abramovich would have accepted?
No, 100%.
Because he sacked Di Matteo winning the Champions League, and then within a couple of games he got rid of him. So I'm just thinking.
But Norms, we're third.
You have to remember something that Dave said that there's players just like at United that are blatantly down tools. Right. Yes. Now, there's only so much you can coach. They're going to go out there and perform. I mean, you imagine the other night, Matic and Mata, who are out the door, were our best two players.
Yeah.
Even though Ronaldo got man in the match, without them two, we're not creating what we created.
And they've announced it. And this is what I don't like. They came out and said, we're leaving at the end of the season. I don't like stuff like that.
And they're still starting, Dave.
Yeah.
He's still starting
exactly.
them. And I'm thinking, how do you announce that you're dipping? And then guys that want to stay and prove themselves can't get on the pitch.
Exactly. So, look, I'm with you on that. I don't like that sort of professionalism at all.
Jay says Klopp would achieve more in a shorter space of time.
What?
What the Fergie Guardiola and Pep?
They all disagree.
No, he wouldn't. No chance.
Mourinho.
It took him 3.5 years to win a trophy, so I doubt it.
Oh, Jay, that's fight talk. I think you might need to come on, Jay.
He's calling you out again, Jay. He's calling you out again, Jay. He's calling you out again. Don't come on my screen. He's calling you out again. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks now. Yeah, Big D's been calling you out. Yeah. But your first lady ain't coming on. Oh my
God. Come true and just have a right between Dave and Kloppy right there.
What's this, sir? Sorry about Wenger, especially when Brom's City. Oh, please! In
the League Cup final.
Yeah. Listen.
Oh yeah.
Me and Ian. I think Ian's in the chat. We watched that game, mate, and I'll tell you, I had to ask Ian if he was okay. I thought he died because I thought that was our first time to get a trophy after such a long time. We lose that game against Birmingham.
That was mad. That was mad, wasn't it?
That was mad. That was
Martin's, wasn't it? Yeah.
Listen, mate. While I've got the 5 minutes per day, because I know the time difference is mad. Let me just do, because obviously, Dave has had this thing about Liverpool, and he sent me 2 statements here. Yeah. Let me just first read it. And it was from the Telegraph, from the same, and I sent it to Big. Yeah. I think I sent it to you, Kof, as well. So I'm just going to read this statement that Dave sent to me from the Telegraph. Yeah. The writer is a guy called Luke Edwards. He says, this was 3rd of March 2021. precise time it was written at was 7:15 a.m. in the morning. Okay, Manchester City might win the quadruple, and this is not good for English football. Pep Guardiola's side are in danger of obliterating the competitive nature of the Premier League. Let's forward on a year on. Same writer, Luke Edwards, writes for Northern Football Writer, 29th of April at 10:33 a.m. 2022 to be precise. He says neutrals should be cheering on Liverpool's quadruple. Hunt, they're one of the greatest teams ever. No matter your allegiance, football fans should be saving what Jurgen Klopp is doing and cheer Liverpool on towards the quadruple. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, first of all, the only excuse of him saying that he wasn't being biased there is probably saying that he wrote the article for the Man City game before he had his morning coffee, because that was at 7:30, whereas the Liverpool article was at 10:38. So maybe he just didn't have his morning coffee and he just wasn't awake then. Because when you look at the two different articles, he's talking about the same thing here. However, he is completely like backing Liverpool and shoving this false rhetoric down our throats that Liverpool are under Klopp are the greatest team that we've ever seen and has ever graced this earth. And that's all I keep seeing from most of these writers and these journalists. So it's as if the Premier League are just trying to create this pilgrimage of Klopp and this Liverpool team.
Kofi?
Look, I've always been a realist about where Liverpool have come from, and Liverpool's still got some way to go to be, one of the greatest teams that Premier League's ever seen. So the football writers can, write what they want, but I know where Liverpool have come from. So,
but the narrative, Kofi, it's the narrative. You can't be in one year later, you're flip-flopping writers. I don't know if they're looking for blue ticks or what. How do you explain that they're ruining the competition and then the following year, we should be cheering on Klopp? I mean, how do you explain that? I mean, you should be consistent. You shouldn't.
But you have to remember,
they're Liverpool lovies, aren't they?
The Premier League is about knocking each other off the perches. Fergie always said that, about knocking teams off the perches when they got to the top. So when you're at the top, there's only one way, and that's down. So if you're going to report, you've got to be consistent, for one. Otherwise, it's farcical. You know what I mean? Because you're blatantly saying that City are spoiling the league, but then now Liverpool could have this chance to quadruple. It's okay. Every neutral needs to get behind them and back them. And I've had Liverpool fans text me yesterday saying, "Are you watching, D? You better be watching. You better be supporting." And I'm like, hold on. Like, I know you man blatantly didn't watch Man United in the treble. You might have had it on in the background or on a low radio, but you weren't watching it with a cider in your hand or something. So, don't be telling me what I should watch as a neutral. That's my choice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
we got bearing in mind, the Villarreal goalkeeper was obviously, paid, very very competitively at the end of the game, I'm sure.
Absolutely gifted goals.
He was
suspect goals, man.
Semi-final or the Champions League.
Man at the earpiece. Listen, you got let this one through your legs. Let this one through your legs. Come on now, make it look real.
He actually probably had a Liverpool trading top under his goalkeeper. You know what?
He had Liverpool shin pads. I saw that.
We've got a disgruntled person in the chat. Chili.
Man like Chili,
Man like Chili.
What team does Chili support?
He's Tottenham.
Oh yeah, Chili. I remember
Chili.
Yeah.
Listen, first of all, big up Chili. He can't be on the show tonight because he's celebrating his right. So big up birthday to your missus. Hope you have a great time this evening, and looking forward to the Liverpool Tottenham game on Saturday. And that could
Chili,
burst your bubble.
Chili, I want Chili to come on after the North London derby. That one I'm going to watch. That one's going to be a good one. So Chili, make sure you're on for that one.
The interesting thing with that game is the permutations for that game is that basically if Liverpool beat Tottenham on Saturday and we beat Leeds, we go into the North London derby 5 points clear. Now, I was saying that the pressure will definitely be on Spurs. Would you agree, guys?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm confident that Kofi Klopp's team can deal with Tottenham, but there's that dilemma because I don't want them to do the quadruple because we ain't going to hear the last of it. So I'm in this kind of predicament, and how it is. But I think I do need you to deal.
Where is it? Is it at Anfield?
It's at Anfield.
Oh yeah, 3 points. 3 points to Liverpool. Yeah. Anfield
under the lights in the evening. You know what I mean?
With VAR. Yeah. It's a no-brainer. It's like saying, is it going to be?
We don't need VAR. You know what I mean? Come on, David. We'll win it. Salah's going to get a goal. Luis Diaz and Mane. 3-1.
Norms, do you remember that? What I said to you? Liverpool haven't had a penalty conceded against them in 11 months?
Yep.
Yep. Did you know that, D?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, in over 11 months, Liverpool haven't had a penalty conceded against them. Wow. Interesting, isn't it?
And that's what I said about when you have the momentum, you have everything else that goes with you as well.
Yeah.
No. There was a statement there from Calvin, like 2 statements back. I think this is aimed at
this one.
Right. Current Liverpool team can't be the best ever. Not true. Klopp has to establish the dynasty like Fergie, Shankly, Paisley, Dalglish, Busby, etc. Kofi, that's for you, bro. What are you saying?
Yeah, but I've always said that Klopp, in his time at Liverpool, for what he has done, he's done really well. For if you look at how much he's had to spend to get the team to where it is right now, he hasn't had a lot or an awful lot to deal with or to use to get the team up to that scratch. I mean, he has spent money on some players, but it's been nowhere as near some of the other clubs.
So does it put him in does he now put himself okay, if he does a quadruple, God forbid, but if he does it, does he now go into that conversation? Do we now never question this Liverpool team moving forward under him?
Well, you can't question them if they win all the trophies in their competitions. So.
But for me, he has to go back-to-back Premier Leagues, bro.
Do you think
back-to-back Premier Leagues?
So are you saying that if he was to do him doing the quadruple, you're saying he has to do back-to-back to be
well, if it is a quadruple,
if
it is a quadruple, he has to go next season win a title again. Not even Champions League. Next season, come back and win a title again.
Okay, so if he does the quadruple, wins a title next season, then he starts to.
Then he's got that status.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
But winning
the quad, yeah. Go on.
Okay, so if it has to be win the quadruple and then the league next season, or can it be win the quadruple and then Champions League again?
Or if he wins the treble, even if he wins the treble, which includes the Premier League title, and comes back and wins the title next season, then he's in the conversation now. He's not even in the conversation. He's kind of cemented himself because it's the hardest thing to do in most sports to go back to back, whether it be a tennis major, a golf major, whatever, to come back and do it all over again, and maybe add 2 players if any. And say, right, this is me. I've mastered the Premier League, the consistency of winning, the draws that are draws until the 92nd minute, and you bang a winner in. I turn it into a win. If he comes back, then he's on that Mount Rushmore, as they would say, as the Americans say. He's there. You're talking about him in the same light, because I think even Pep said it. To win the league back to back is mad. To win the Premier League back to back, Pep said it. It's just hard. Because you've got to have those players stay focused, even when they don't want to play on a wet Monday night somewhere. You know the ones, and that's where teams normally slip up, where the weather's bad and they just don't fancy it. As good as that team is, as technical as them players are, so it's going to be interesting. I'm praying
So
against it.
I'm gonna because I know David's late, Dave. So I'm gonna just put this question in right before Dave goes. In fact, Dave will just sparing the half hour, 45 minutes to come on and challenge Mr. Kofi Klopp, and I'm sure there'll be more for the future. But yeah, so who wins the title? And question again is: can Lampard save Everton?
Well, to win the title, hopefully not Jurgen Klopp and his boys and Liverpool. I think City will win it.
Based on their running.
Yeah, and you know, Pep knows how to do it. Do you know what I mean? He knows how to get these last 4 results from his players. You know, they've got a big one tonight. I don't know where that's going to go because it just seems as if it's written for Real Madrid this year to be in the final. Whether to win it, I don't know, but to be in the final, 100%. And then Everton, I guess, they've got a game in hand, right? Frank Lampard, they've got,
They've got one.
Yeah, but the problem, I suppose, the problem for us because they play us at the last game of the season away to us. You know, if they haven't secured, I mean, you've got Leeds in that mix as well. Yeah. So for us, you know, it's going to be tough. But going back to the Man City, I think Man City will just do it. I think Man City will just do it. I want them to do it.
Yeah, don't say it. Don't. I would love it. Don't say it.
I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. But Dave, listen. I know it's late, mate. Thanks for coming on the show. We are gonna finish. We are gonna finish off just with the Premier League fixtures and stuff like that. Just finish off.
Cool, guys.
Listen, really appreciate it, mate. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, take it easy. Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bless up. Yeah. Right. So, guys, the weekend is going to be crazy with Tottenham obviously going to Liverpool. The following day, we play Leeds at home. Leeds are fighting for their lives as well. You know, they're in that relegation fight with Burnley and Everton. Fantastic win for Everton at home. A lot of time wasting going on there. Also, I think as part of the ref watch or Richarlison picked up a flare and threw it. I think they're going to investigate that, whether he will get done for it or not.
Oh yeah, he threw it back in the crowd, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't think he intentionally. I think it was just more, you know, he just wanted to express the fact that he scored a goal. I don't think he was having a go at the fans or anything like that. But you know, it is a flare and it can be quite dangerous. I think he was just expressing, you know, I mean, as footballers do, they want to win the game. And he just threw it back into the crowd. I don't think he meant anything by it, but that game, it was a massive 3 points for Everton. They're still in the bottom 3, but I think they have played one less game.
Yeah, they got a game in, and they have a better goal difference than Leeds, but they have a worse one than Burnley.
Right,
Burnley. Well, I say only minus 15, but it matters. They got 5 goals on Everton.
Right, okay.
And then you look at Leeds, they're minus 34, so their goal difference is shocking. So, in truth, Leeds' goal difference might relegate them. It's bad, you know what I mean? Then Everton are minus 20. So, with that game, and 32 points, the other two have got 34 points, and Burnley have got a slightly better goal difference. So this is going to end the season, Norm. I guarantee you this is going to the last game of the season.
Calvin says, I don't think Lampard can save everything. They should have kept Big Dunk. Do you think Duncan Ferguson could have done it?
I think the respect that he has, Norm, the way they respect Dunk, then maybe you said to him, listen, Dunk, we know you've done it before. Hold this for 6 months in the summer.
He's a legend. He's a legend for the club.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect there. So, but now I'm looking at it, I feel Everton may just sneak out of it because this unlucky Frank is. He's a lucky guy. You know what I'm saying? He's just a lucky guy. You know what? So,
yeah. Well, the game, the Newcastle game, Liverpool game, it was a massive game. It was a tough game, Kofi. Liverpool coming out 1-0 winners away to Newcastle. There was controversy with the leading up to the goal with Milner. Some saying that the tackle. Sorry about that. The tackle that was put on. I can't remember. I think it might have been Shaw. I think it was Shaw. When you first saw it, it looked like he went through him, but when you looked, he got the ball first. And the referee obviously play on. VAR looked at it, didn't think nothing of it. And from what Dermot Gallagher was saying, that it was a fair tackle. What were your thoughts quickly on that game?
Yeah, I mean,
obviously leading up to the Real Madrid game. The Villarreal game.
Tough game it was, and sometimes you got to win games a little bit ugly if you're not playing well. And that challenge from Milner, some referees would have given that far.
Yeah.
So it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we came through and got the 3 points. Yes.
Yeah. But like I said earlier, Kofi, when you have the momentum, those 50-50s are going to go with you rather than against you. And that's how you win that title or get over that Champions League line. You know what I mean? Those split decisions, because everyone will always talk about those decisions, because it was a talking point for a good 10 minutes after the game with the panelists saying, you know what, VAR again. And this is what they got to address in the summer. It's too inconsistent. And people get wound. People are now getting wound up, because there's no way you can score a goal and be reluctant to celebrate it because VAR saying that your left cheek was offside and thing. There was so it's changed the whole dynamics of how we even celebrate. And I saw to a friend of mine that goes to Old Trafford on a regular, and he said the same thing. When United score, because you got the campered pitch, sometimes if you want it, you don't know it's gone in until you see the crowd behind the
action,
goal celebrating. But then the players are still looking up at the screen for VAR. Yeah. Well, not screen, because not Old Trafford. I
was going to say,
but in general, they're looking to the linesman because they're saying, "Was I off? I know it was close." And you look at Ronaldo; he's the worst for that, because he spins off and he's good at doing it. But when he timed it, because he scored again, and when you look what they called, I just couldn't see how it was offside. But they gave it. VAR gave it, even though we don't have the screens, and the fans get frustrated because they can't watch it on the screen to say, "Oh yeah, that was close," or "It wasn't." They're just taking my guy going to the side monitor, his word for it, and you're like, "Nah, it's killing the game." So one, we got to get big screens fitted. Two, they got to address the way VAR is operated.
Just quickly, I mean, I don't know. Are they going to get big screens? Is that the plan?
Apparently so, yeah.
Okay.
And get a roofing contractor in as well. There's all this big talk. They're all going to do, because
some new chefs as well.
Some new chefs to stop poisoning the people then and stop giving Luke Shaw too much carbs. He's putting on that much weight. You know what I mean? It's mad. All these norms. Honestly, man.
It's therapy time.
It is, man. I'm gonna lie on the bench and just scratch my head for a minute.
Right. Wolves 0, Brighton 3. Brighton go to Wolves. I think Wolves have kind of gone to the beach now, mate. It looks like Brighton's the ones that have decided that they're going to continue, their good form. They beat them 3-0. I think Wolves are still going to try and get some sort of European place, possibly a Conference League. I think the best they can finish is on 58 points. I think they're currently on 49 points.
Yeah, 49.
So they can finish if Man United capitulate in the last 2 games and Leeds and Wolves win their next. I think they got 3 games left.
They've played 34 now. So
they've got 4 games left. All right, so right, so
but their goal difference is awful. Their goal difference is +1.
Yeah. So they're probably still in contention for some sort of European place.
Yeah,
that could be Europa, but it's probably more likely to be Europa Conference League. Aston Villa 2, Norwich 0. We know Norwich went down that weekend. It was always coming. Dean Ashton getting sacked. and getting their team relegated. You called it, D.
Yeah, man, he made history there, man. I don't think any manager's ever done that in the Premier League.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Actually, lose your job, go to another Premier League team, and relegate them. That's a mad one.
Yeah,
that's a bad year at the office. Forget about a day. That's a bad year at the office, boy. Because you can't even brag about that to your grandkids. You know, there was I was the manager that did this in the 2021, 2022 season.
That can't happen.
Yeah.
Next one, Burnley 2 away, win 2-1 away to Watford. Funny enough, Watford got the first goal, but it's looking like Watford's fate is pretty much sealed. You know, I can't see a way back for them. I think they're going to be the next team to go down. Burnley still fighting. You know, winning that game 2-1. Out of the relegation zone, obviously.
16th.
But 16th. But they are fighting it out. They will be fighting it out with Leeds and Everton. So we'll just have to see. And I know Tottenham play them at home at some point. Does Liverpool? I don't think if Liverpool got and you guys got them. I don't think you have you? What's Burnley's next?
I think we've played Burnley.
Yeah, I've seen what their next set of games are.
So they got Villa, and then they go to Tottenham, mate.
Okay.
So
and they got Villa again.
Yeah, they got Villa twice.
Yeah, so I think one of them is a rearranged.
Oh, that's crazy.
They got Villa at home.
And,
Spurs away.
Yeah.
Then
no, they got Villa. No, So the Villa at home. And that's probably why, because remember they did have a lot of games in hand, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
so
Spurs away. Yeah,
and then the last game of the season is away
to at home to Newcastle.
At home to Newcastle,
yeah. Do you know what? I think Burnley might get there. I think you know what the fight could be between Leeds and Everton.
Yeah, it could be.
I just think that Burnley right now got the momentum. I mean, they came from behind in that game, Watford game, and you know, done the business. So I think out of the three, I think Burnley might survive. Personally speaking, I think Burnley might survive.
So this, because Burnley still got 4. Yeah, they still got 4 games.
I'm stepping down. He's stepping down at the end of the season. Did he step down last season? I thought he stepped down and he came back. I thought he stepped down last season.
But no, he stepped down from Crystal Palace, right?
Yeah, I thought that's what. Yeah. Maybe it's a ploy.
Man, Turkey that Roy, don't know what
if things don't work, say things don't work out for Ten Hag, yeah, D.
I'm telling you, bro. Like I'll tell you now, if
listen, Liverpool had them, so listen, come on, man.
Listen, if Turkey and Roy comes to Old Trafford, I have to just retire my Man United shirts. just put them in the cupboard and say, bro, just be a fan of football. You know what?
Yeah. Crystal Palace away to Southampton, winning that game 2-1. I mean, both teams, I think are now safe. I'm not going to go too much into that. Now, hopefully, Kofi was probably hoping that, because obviously Leeds are fighting for their lives, and maybe Kofi was hoping that Man City would go there and probably get a draw. Listen, I think in the first couple of minutes, Leeds had a massive chance to go 1-0 up. They bottled it, and Man City, go and win that game 4-0, keeping the pressure on Liverpool.
Keeping that goal difference up as well, isn't it?
Keeping that goal difference up. I think now there may be 1 or 2 goals behind you now.
I think it's now, is it 1 goal?
One goal.
It is, just 1 goal. 60. You guys are plus 64. They're plus 63. So all good. And then I think we spoke about the Everton game. Obviously, Everton 1, Chelsea 0. Craig is saying Lampard hasn't got the experience to get out of the relegation. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Quickly.
Well,
you never know.
He could do with a big Sam by his side, isn't it?
He might just scrape. I know he hasn't got relegation expertise, but he might just scrape it.
I think with that 1-0 win over Everton, over Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
That's
a huge win, you know.
Yeah.
That was a huge win in the sense of, like I say, momentum. Because that goal, that game in hand is so key for them right now. And sometimes people say, "Oh, I'd rather have the points on the table than the game in hand." But then the game in hand still gives you a chance to rescue yourself. And I think he's that lucky guy. He's either going to be that. I think he's that lucky guy. I think he scrapes it. I think he just does. I think
so.
Leeds probably
it sounds like you're saying Leeds are the ones that are going to go.
Yeah, I think Leeds are going to go. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I think he scrapes it on goal difference.
Yeah.
Which is it's a horrible way to get relegated, but I get it. It happens, you know.
Yeah.
And
we go to the Tottenham game. Obviously Leicester. Tottenham pretty much played Leicester's B team, winning that game 3-1. Son with 2 goals. Harry Kane with the other. Listen, they put the pressure back on us. We obviously were going to go away to West Ham. Tough away win. I think when you look at our running, we go and lose to Southampton, Brighton, and Crystal Palace. Not in that specific order, but those 3 teams. And then we go on the teams that we expected to drop points. Chelsea, we didn't expect to go there and win 4-2. We then go and beat Man United at home 3-1. And now we go away to West Ham. 2 headed goals from set pieces. West Ham didn't have Dawson there. He was suspended for that game, but we had to take advantage of that. But listen, it was the first half was just I might as well just watch paint dry. It was that boring. Even though the first 2 goals came in there, and the marking, and our left back Tavares or Tavares. I personally speaking, I've heard it said this guy ain't a footballer. He's an Olympic sprinter, because this guy does not know how to play football. Between him and Granit Xhaka, the amount of times they gave the ball away. Do you know what I mean? Our best player was obviously Holding. He done really well defensively. And Mohamed El Neni, again, he's come in, gives you a 6, 7 out of 10 performance, does what it says on the tin. Had another good performance, but Holding, gets the man of the match for that game. Very hard-fought win. We win that game 2-1. Obviously, West Ham have got to go to Frankfurt tomorrow. Going into that game, I think they're 2-1 down. They're hopefully trying to get to the finals of the Europa Champions League, Europa finals. But I don't know how they're going to fare out there. They will have Dawson back for that game. They rested Antonio and a number of Thomas Soucek. They had them on the bench. They came on, but didn't really impact the game. So I think
he's got one eye on Europe already.
Yeah.
And it's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
it's the right thing to do. I think it's the right thing to do for them.
Yeah.
Because that's an excellent way to get the Champions League, man. Win that, and now West Ham then can attract better players.
That's right.
Because they're in the Champions League. Yeah.
So listen, to be honest, I hope they do.
Yeah, I do it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's put to bed there in terms of getting the Champions League position again. They probably be fighting out for a Europa league position or Conference League position. Obviously, as I said, they are in the semi-finals. Second, could go there and turn it around. They have done quite well away from home. They beat Lyon, and now they've got to overcome Frankfurt. They are a tough team to beat, but we'll see what happens with that game tomorrow. And obviously tonight, Man City away to Real Madrid. I personally want to see Man City through. I know Kofi's had enough of seeing Man City, but listen, it is what it is. But I think Kofi...
Come on, Real Madrid.
I think Kofi prefers to play Real Madrid. Obviously, going back to the 2000 and... Was it? 17-18 when Ramos broke up my man's arm or dislocated my man's arm. So even Mo Salah came out and said that, he wants to meet Real Madrid in the final. So we'll see what happens tonight. Then we come to the Monday night. I think it was the Monday night. Was it Monday night game? Man United, Brentford. That was a bit of a testimonial match.
Right, they did it for the fans, didn't they? Norm did it for the fans. I swear, man.
And this thing, they were all going to walk out on the 70th minute or something minute. Yeah, that didn't quite happen either.
No. You know what? Like the whole, green and gold to the club is sold. I get it, right? But everyone's got to be on board with the whole Glazers. That you can't have half the fans saying that, then the other half queuing up at the mega store to buy merchandise. It don't work. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the fan base has got to get on board. But I think I said earlier, you got Mata and Matic controlling that game. And they're both out the door. Well, saying that Mata might stay in a coaching role, allegedly. I don't know how true that is. But it tells you everything you need to know that Cavani just turned up. And you know what? When he was announced, the ground went silent because they know that he's mugged us off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm glad that the fans did that. Because you know what? The fans really backed him. And he just turned around and just put two fingers up at us. Because when we needed him, he was wherever he was. He wasn't in England, that's for sure. And suddenly, the last game of the season, he shows up, running up and down the touchline, flinging his hair about. I wanted to choke him out. I was so vexed. I was like, bro, where you been? Where you been for the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks? Where have you been? Yeah, man. He's mad disrespectful. And he's on like 400k or something stupid, no? Because he came on a free. But like I said to you guys a few weeks back, they begged him to stay when he wanted to go, and that's what he did to us. He just down tools. And the fans let him know that, we know you're down tools on us when we need you. Because there was points where Ronnie was out on his feet, and we looked at the bench and there's no Cavani there.
Yeah.
On that kind of money. And you're like, nah, man. And like I said, last 7 weeks when we could have made a push with him for that top spot, we was all on Ronnie to get them goals. I mean, I would say nobody foresees the whole Mason Greenwood situation, but we just lacked up front in the end. And he was the one that could have helped Ronnie out to not having to keep playing 90-minute games. And he was nowhere to be seen. So I'm glad they gave him the silent treatment. Because apparently it was like pin could have dropped, you could have heard it.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Bam, everyone just like, this dude.
I know.
Shoulder in.
Yeah. So he brought a Cavani, he brought one Phil Jones.
Phil Jones, yeah.
It's just like, and I think,
I
think that, and obviously it was the last game at Old Trafford.
That's right.
You had Jesse Lingard coming out, his brother coming out, and having a bit of a moan saying, how comes he didn't get a chance to come on? I think I was watching.
They've done him dirty, Norm. They've done him dirty, Jesse.
Yeah. And do you think? Yeah, but you think him? I don't know if he was frightened, if he sort of said it through his brother or what. Do you think, his brother was throwing his toys at the pram by saying, listen, they've done him dirty because obviously he wanted to leave and they didn't let him leave, and now he's in a situation now.
And this was Ollie that did him dirty, not Rannick. This was Ollie that did him dirty because he was out the door to West Ham. Because you remember he posted a picture on Instagram in a West Ham shirt, and the fans went mad because he'd been promised to move. Yeah, and Rannick said he could go in January. Well, no, actually, go to Newcastle. And so,
but then the club refused it.
The board said no. Because Jesse was a bit of a favourite with the kids. A lot of kids had Jesse Lingard number 14 shirts. So the whole thing was murky, man. You know what I mean? You try to let him go, and he should not have trusted Ollie either. I think Ollie wrecked his season, and potentially, I think if he goes to West Ham, he goes to the World Cup. He has a season of his life at West Ham and goes to the World Cup. Now, he ain't going to no World Cup. He ain't playing no football for us. So he's not going to the World Cup. So you got to look at that and think, is this a nice score here?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what Craig. I think that's what Craig is predicting.
All right.
Because the kickoff is at 8 o'clock.
All right. I'm about to say.
That's what I was going to say, mate. You know what I mean?
Already, I'm like, what's going on?
But so just saying that as well. Oh, wrong score. He's put wrong score. I think it's probably either the other way round. That's what I'm hoping he's saying. Just with the situation, because Rashford, he didn't come on either, did he?
No.
He didn't break. What's the future? What's his future? What's going to happen there? Because Roy Keane has come out again and said he looks like he's lost his way. He's got to reclaim. He might be better off going to another club. What's the situation for him?
It actually looks like he's just not loving football anymore, or loving football at Man United. But I think I said on here before, he hasn't been coached since Louis van Gaal. So he became a one-trick pony, keep cutting inside and trying to clap everything top bins. So he's forgotten how to cross a football. And there's just so much that is wrong with his game right now. And then you wonder really and truly, after the operations, if his body's actually right, where he might actually hurt for him to play, but he's not going to tell him that because he's so bad he wants to play. But at the moment, he looks like a tank that is empty. He's got nothing right now. And I would have said to him
mentally. Definitely mentally.
I would have actually sent him on holiday already. Yeah. I was listen.
Roy Keane described him as a young child playing football. He doesn't have no football awareness right now. The way he plays football, the footballing brain.
His football IQ is very poor. But you saw the improvement under Louis van Gaal. And like I say, that was the last time he was actually shown, Marcus, I need you to do that. Show this way, do this. It's not been. You know, with Ollie, it was go out there and express yourself, take a cortisone injection and play injured. All this nonsense. And I think the people around Marcus should have protected him better. I don't know whose people are. I don't know who his agent was. But you just think someone should have sat him down maybe in the summer and said, you got to ease yourself back in this squad. Because this is what I like about the Dutch players. They don't play half fit, right? And Marcus played most of that season half fit, keep taking drugs, and then having the operations. So you wonder what damage he really done. Keep like literally running through a wall for Ollie because Ollie was giving him false hope and then he was sulking when Ollie got fired because he was literally picking himself under Ollie. Him and Bruno, they were never getting benched. So yeah, it's been a season where his transition hasn't been well. And like I say, he should be on holiday now. He should be nowhere near Old Trafford. If we're thinking of keeping him, if we want him out the door, then it don't matter. But if we're thinking of keeping him for next season to work with Ten Hag, he should already be on holiday. Get him out of there.
Yeah, I mean we talk about Ten Hag with regards to the big work that he's got to do when he comes to Man United. And the other thing is, will CR7 be happy to slug it out in the Europa or possibly Conference League? Roy Keane again has said with a guy that scores that many goals. Listen, he's the third top goal scorer with 18, followed by Son with 19 and Salah on 22. He could possibly, if he ends up scoring in the next two games, gets a couple of penalties or scores an hat trick or something, he could possibly be the top goal scorer in a team that has not really performed, have underperformed this season. And I suppose the question for me. And Ralph came out and said it. And another thing I'd put to you as well was Ralph saying it as it is, that everything needs upgrading apart from the game. But he did also say in another report I read that they would 100% keep CR7 because you only have got to look at his goal scoring thing. Obviously, he can't play week in week out. He would need another striker there, but. When Roy has come out and said, why would you let someone of that quality go? And can he hack it in there? Will he hang about? I suppose the question I'm asking, and Kofi, if you want to come in this, do you think CR7 will be happy to slug it out in the Europa or possibly Conference League? Kofi and then D.
I don't know whether he will have the motivation to stay on as probably a leader of the next generation of players. I mean, the young ones, depending on what Ten Hag does and who he brings in, is he going to be satisfied? I don't think he wants to be playing Europa League.
That's right.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, D. Do you think? I mean,
listen, and that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Does he turn around and say to Ten Hag, like, listen, I'm Champions League, CR7, right? Play me FA Cup, play me League, play whatever, but like I won't be getting on a plane and playing these Europa League games in Never Land on artificial pitches. And you have to remember, it might be the conference, even worse pitches if it's the conference. You know what I'm saying? Because you're playing like Division 2 sides and all that. So there's going to be somewhere where if he stays, because you have to remember at Juventus, he just cleared his locker and said, "I'm out, guys." He was still he still had another year on that contract, and he has the money to just buy himself out. So he'll do the same thing at United if he wants out. But this is my thing: who pays him the money we're paying him right now in a recession, in a COVID kind of, you know what I mean? Everyone's suffering from COVID football.
Okay, right. So I think if he stays, okay, so if he does stay, does he help Man United move to the next level?
He probably helped the youngsters, Norman, which is probably the same thing. He kind of becomes a bit of a player coach, as in just the way he can show for the ball. Because you saw with this now, he was getting frustrated. He kept coming deep for the ball a lot, and that was messing up the midfield. But if you want to teach a guy to be a fox in the box, that's your guy. But then you have to remember, Mason wasn't listening to him. Him and Mason fell out before the whole blow up. So for me, I think who can afford, if he goes, where does he go? Who can afford that money right now?
And if he stays, I think the other big thing as well, because obviously with the way the way the Man United players at the moment, their whole mindset has to change. The whole culture of the club has to turn around, because you had a lot of people when when Ragnick came in under Solskjaer, you had half and half. You know, some players were for him, some weren't. Then under Ralph Ragnick,
well,
they didn't like the way.
These guys that have been stinking up the joint was coming out with the statements about they're a bit underwhelmed with the appointment. Are you kidding me? What have you done in the Premier League to be underwhelmed with Ten Hag coming in? I mean, that's the
big up. Sorry, big up, Chili. See you next week, mate.
My guy. Yeah, so that's the disrespect and the arrogance of this United squad. That apparently quite a few of them were a bit underwhelmed with the appointment of Ten Hag. Are you mad because they wanted Poch? Because Poch
maybe they want to control the narrative again,
right? And apparently, like, so you notice that our Slabhead is missing, right? Our false five, right? Yep. So apparently he's been told he's getting stripped allegedly. All of a sudden he's injured. Okay, you figure that one out. That's what I'm saying. I can't respect it, man. Yeah, he's been told he's getting stripped. Like basically, like, we can't move forward with you as a club captain. It's not going to work out. So now he's injured to the. So it wouldn't surprise me if he tries to force a loan move or something to get away from Old Trafford, because he liked being the captain, because he could. You know what I mean? There's a whole status thing. There's a whole, like, look at me, Harry Maguire. He got his family tweeting and posting all kind of madness. And allegedly, he's not.
You see that? No, I don't. As I say, for me, I don't do Twitter, so I don't see all of that. But obviously, I can imagine the madness that's going on there.
He's not injured, no, but he ain't there. He wasn't even on the bench, so it's like.
And Ralph says it as it is. He's saying it needs changing all over that pitch. We've got apart from the goalkeepers and their backup goalkeepers, Kofi. Do you think that Ralph was right in saying that team, Man United team, when you look at that team, you've played them, you've pretty much put 9 goals past them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from front to back, apart from the hair, there needs a full restructure in the whole team. You know, you need like a strong spine again. And then from there, then you can build around that spine.
I mean, how many players are we talking about? I mean, are we talking about in terms of, because it's going to, as Ravnik saying, it's going to take maybe 3 or 4 transfer windows.
Right. So you're looking at least 9 players over 3 transfer windows, if not 10, over 3 transfer windows. I was
going to say about 10.
Yeah, major surgery, brother. Major surgery.
So so this summer you bring in 3 new players. You're going to let go. Obviously, you let go of Matic, Mata.
I think it's about eight going, Norman, in the summer.
Yeah, right.
About 8, and then he's going to loan out.
Will that culture still be there, or do you think Ten Hag is? Are we still? That's what I'm trying to say. Listen, it needs a total clear out, as we know.
Yeah, but you have to remember as well, right? If you look how long Ten Hag took to sign that contract, right? They did major adjustments to that contract, and he weren't coming anywhere. As in, he's going to say, "Listen, guys, when I say jump, this is how we're jumping." Right? If I call training at 5:30 and we're going to train in the floodlights tonight, that's what we're doing. Anyone don't turn up, then you're benched at the weekend. Actually, no, I'll put you in the 23. You go play with them. I think it's going to be that rigid, and these spoiled little brats are going to have to earn their big money. Otherwise, he'll have them out of there. I think he will. And it's about time that the board backed the manager who is telling them that these guys are lazy, these guys are unfit, these guys have no football IQ. These guys just want to go throwing pints down their neck after every win. Nah. Drink some sparkling water and relax, man. I need you fit for the next one. Now, don't get me wrong. You have to get your hair down. But these guys, they're slobby, they're lazy, they're walking around the pitch. You don't see Man City, Liverpool players doing that.
Yeah. And it's all about the culture. It's all about the mindset. And when you look at Man City, when you look at Liverpool, you know, I just think, if only. You
have to remember that David Moyes called this, you know. I remember David Moyes saying, "Yeah, man, we're aspiring to be Man City," and they wanted to lynch him, but he was right, you know.
Well, listen, I'll tell you what. Right now,
we were aspiring to be the noisy neighbours, Norman.
Right now, Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham, you know, we're light years away from them. You know, Chelsea. Listen, they're 14 points off of you guys. Pretty much dropped off, and maybe Kofi could have thrown that in the argument. But I'm sure you might want to say that now for the record.
And Kofi, for a neutral like myself, I do want to see a Man City Liverpool Champions League final. I think it will be epic. It will be a mad one. Epic. It will be a mad one. So that's why I'm kind of leaning on the blue side of Manchester, because I think after the quality in the games, like between you guys, the quality and the gamesmanship, the tactical nous on both coaches, it was brilliant to watch.
Kofi did say to who was out today. Kofi was saying that because they know each other so well, you know what I mean. They know what to expect. Yeah, and it's and that is the thing. And I don't know if that's the fear for Kofi. It's like, well, you know what I mean, like.
But this is the thing, Norman. Mistakes win that game rather than lack of quality. As in, if those two get to the final, it won't be because either of them didn't bring the quality. Is that at one point a slip, a sloppy back pass where they switched off? That's what's going to win that game, because you know tactically they're going to go at each other, and it's going to be beautiful football to watch.
But I don't know whether it's going to be a change in terms of one team just wanting to get over the line and then the other playing to win it. Because because City haven't won it and they just want to get over the line and win it. So will they change their tactics to will they play the way?
And this is where I said to you earlier about the whole Pep overthinking. When he gets to nearly the promised land, he starts doing stuff out of character. You're like, what's he doing here?
Just go and do what you've been doing over 38 games.
Exactly.
Don't change it up and try. You tried that last time with Tottenham. Look what happened. You know what I mean?
And so you look at it, you say, brother, what are you doing? But it's going to be like I say, like, so the game's starting now. So you're gonna.
Yeah. Well, listen, the last one, because I know Kofi is. I'm going that way. I'm going that way. Well, listen, man, we stuff.
I'm on reserve, you know.
Yeah. So just the last thing here, and we look at the Premier League form, and then we'll call it a day. Arsenal secure a European place. Obviously, we've secured a European place with that win against West Ham. But can they finish the job and finish as third place losers? In other words, can we finish in fourth? Do you think we have the mentality to now go on with 4 games to go? Yeah, 4 games to go. Yeah. Leicester, on Sundays, and then we go away to Leeds on Sunday, and then on the 12th we go away to the big North London derby, Tottenham away.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll go into that game 5 points clear, and we need Liverpool to deal with them on Saturday night. And then we go away to Newcastle, which is going to be tough. They're very good at home. And then we have the last game of the season, home game against Everton. Everton could still be fighting for their lives. Don't know what's going to happen there. What are your thoughts quickly? Can we go and push for that third place loser spot?
Going to be tough, but Arsenal need to, if they really want to show they can step up, they need to just go for it. They really need to.
Right. So you're talking about leapfrogging Chelsea?
No, I'm just saying.
Right.
So when I say third place loser, so if you look, if you go from, so obviously whoever wins, you got the third place loser is the fourth place, the one that finishes in fourth place. Yeah. So because there's going to be 3 teams behind the winner, isn't it? So we're the third place loser.
So you guys are, for me, you guys are definitely in the driving seat. Still some. Well, I'm going to say 2 big games for you. I think the North London derby, and I think the Everton game is going to be a big game because I think that, like you say, they'll be fighting for their lives. Last game of the season. So they're going to throw the kitchen sink at you just to stay in the Premier League. You know what I mean? Because if we go into that game 5 points, it's over.
If we beat Leeds, and obviously Liverpool do their job against Tottenham, and we go into that game, do we go in as definite favourites?
No, if I go into that game, I'm playing for a draw.
How was that not a red card for Laporte?
Oh wow! He's already gone mad already. He's already gone
mad, is it? Oh wow! Have they looked at VAR? That'd be interesting. Right.
Well, this is the thing, though.
Keep us posted till we come off this stream, Craig.
I'm going to say when Liverpool beat them, that's how consistent they've been. And when you beat Leeds, you actually go into London Derby and play for a draw, mate, and then it's curtains. You got your top
but we don't want to. What I'm saying we should not be going to play for a draw. We should go there now because the pressure now will be on Tottenham now.
So you can actually play counter-attack.
We don't do that well. We don't do that well there anyway. Say that again, mate.
I said you could actually just revert to counter-attack football for that game and let them come at you.
Let them have the ball,
and you have the pace to catch them. Your Sackers and them boys flying at them. You know what I mean? Because their defense is always suspect. Tottenham, they're very hit and miss. So.
Just quickly before we go to the Prem League form table, who finishes as top goal scorer? We got Mo Salah on 22 goals, Son on 19 goals, and Cristiano Ronaldo on 18.
I think Salah still finishes top scorer.
Okay.
Bar maybe 1 goal. Son definitely second, and then Ronaldo.
Right.
Well, you know
when was the last time Salah scored in the Premier League?
Didn't he score the other day? No,
he came off the bench because Klopp completely shafted fantasy league football.
It was before his last Premier League goal was it before he went to African nations, right?
No, he did score in the Premier League. I'm sure he did. But what I'm trying to say, he hasn't scored consistently now. From the last time he scored,
it was against United, wasn't it?
Yeah, he scored against us.
He scored
twice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right. And how many games have you played since then?
2.
Things about two Premier Leagues.
Yeah,
2 Premier, and you haven't scored in none of. He hasn't scored in there. So I'm just saying. You know what I mean? You know what? Does he like scoring against Spurs?
He does. He's always scored a goal against them. So, but then he's just trying too hard at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I probably think he would hold out to be top goal scorer on 22. And I just got this funny feeling that Cristiano Ronaldo would end up with second highest goal scorer
over Son.
Well, he's only 1 goal behind Son.
Yeah, but Son's scoring like 2 every week these days, you know.
He's gone to that. Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's
definitely, Craig. Definitely need to spend that money.
Son could actually leapfrog Salah just because I know Klopp's going to bench him. Klopp's going to bench him again because no one expected him to get benched on Saturday. That was a mad one.
Yeah.
And then I just thought, okay, I get it. I get it because now you've actually got strikers that we'll say strikers, attacking wingers, inverted, whatever you want to call it, inverted strikers that they all can bang. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to have 5 attacking options. That is what you're supposed to have.
Yeah, I mean,
at every team, and then even if it's 4 and a youngster that can angle his business when you throw him in there, but you got 5 bona fide man that are going to get
Diaz for me, Kofi. Salvatated over him.
Fabinho. It's like, you got options. So it wouldn't surprise me if he gets rested again at some point before one of the finals.
Yeah.
Klopp, good to do that.
So that's what I'm saying, and maybe that could change the whole dynamics of who ends up being top.
Because even Saturday, Norm, when he came on, you could see how desperate he was to try and score, to a point that he was being a little bit greedy. You're like, bro, pass the football, man.
Well, I said to Cole, the problem with Salah, and Cole was sort of doing a little analysis on him and saying that what Salah does is he draws the players, but the problem is he won't release the ball. When he's meant to release the ball, he doesn't release the ball. Because he creates the space. You're correct, Cole. He creates
He creates the space, and just need to don't be that selfish. Find that man. You probably see the opportunity somewhere else, and then take the chance.
Well, listen. I think this weekend he doesn't need to rest him because they're through to the finals. So get Salah on, do the business against Spurs.
It's a double game week, isn't it, Norman?
Hey?
It's a double game week for some of the teams. Double game week.
So, right. So, listen, we finally come to the Premier League form table. Just tell me who's at the top. There you go. There's the laugh.
There you go.
Hands up if you're at the top of the table.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because you guys got...
Who's in second?
Has to be City.
Yeah. Third?
Arsenal.
No. That's quite shocking because we've won 3 games on the bounce.
Who's third?
Yeah, I'm saying
Tottenham.
You got
Tottenham.
Tottenham.
Yeah, but you guys have got a 3-game win streak. That's interesting.
That's what I'm trying to say. Burnley.
Oh, okay.
Burnley. All right, so basically, Liverpool on 16 in first, Man City on 14 in second, Tottenham on 13 in third, Burnley.
Yeah, because they got 3 on the bounce. Yeah, because they've won 3 on the bounce, man.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah, 3 on the bounce.
Yeah. And if you're looking at the last 6 games, remember we lost, Crystal Palace.
Yeah. You lost 3.
Brighton. Yeah. And then we go and win 3 in a row. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big up Diego, man. Late to the party. We're coming down to a close, bro. We'll just go through the Premier League full table. Yeah, so Burnley in the full table are playing Champions League.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And you've got Newcastle up there. As I said, they're going to be a tough team to go away and win. They're sitting in 5th on 12 points. Brighton, as I said, their form has turned around. They're sitting in 6th on 11 points. Yeah. Leeds, again, another tough game. They're going to be fighting for their lives. They're coming in at 11 points. Brentford had a big turn of form, even though they got beaten the other night by Man United. They're on 10 points, and we sit in 9th place on 9 points. Then I've got to go way down to 13th for Man United on 7 points. D.
And we're Chelsea.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Chelsea sitting 11th.
Okay. Wow.
On 7 points.
Tell David drop-offs.
Well, you know what? To be fair,
this is for you, Kofi.
Yes, he said.
Has just called your team drop-off merchants.
Yeah. I mean, earlier, to be fair to him, he actually said that a lot of them are down tools, and a few of them are at the door. So they've already got one eye on that summer holiday.
Yeah, I think that the whole thing, though, I don't know if I got to kind of ask Dave this and whether the case, just quickly, what happens now? Abramovich is talking about wanting his money back. Whether it's true or not, we don't know. They've got until the 31st to make these sales happen. It's a lot of what's going on off the field affecting the on-field stuff, and their form, and the fact that Rudiger's going, and he's asked for more money, but I think he came out a couple of weeks ago, Tuchel, and said that basically one of the reasons why he said he wanted to go was because obviously the uncertainty of the Chelsea situation. So when you look now, with Abramovich saying he needs his money back in some way, or shape, or form,
how much is it, Norm? How much is
I think 1.5 billion.
Billion. Woo! Yeah. That's mad,
So I mean, listen.
That's calling it a loan.
It could just be for the TV and for the newspaper clicks and everything. The government obviously are saying that the sale of Chelsea, they don't want Abramovich to get any of the money because obviously the sanctions and stuff like that. So, if the sale does go through, there's been a number of knockbacks for some of the. Is it hanging in the balance? But if it does go through, I suppose my question is with the new owners, are they going to be like Abramovich, throwing money at the club? Will they be able to sustain, the way Abramovich, threw money at the club? If they needed players, apart from the fact that they had a transfer ban, all they did was the money that they had in their coffers, they spent it the following year.
Right.
Are the owners going to be a lot different to the current owners?
But this is the thing, and this is the question you have to ask: did Roman pay his taxes? Because if the government took his tax money, then why can't he call in his loan to the club? You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit, because you know what? If they do this to him, right, then you're gonna have every owner look at owning a club differently. If they feel like, well, Roman, one, invested in the area of Chelsea, one, invested in the team, two, paid his tax bill, and now you want to come at him like that. Every owner's going to start thinking, what's going on with this British government? It's a mad one. Like I say, I don't know the in and outs, but when I look at it just on basic things, did he do these basic things? If the answer is, oh, yes, then do we have the right to say that the man can't have his 1.5 billion back when you've taken and he's paid his dues? So it's kind of interesting. I don't know. And does that ruin them? Does that 1.5 billion?
Well, that's the question.
Do they have it?
This exactly. That is the big question. The fact that he's answering it back, man. I mean, his sanctions must be licking his pocket hard because he came out at the start of it and said, "Listen, I don't want any money that I've lent. I'm writing off the debt." Now all of a sudden now they're trying to find some financial loophole and trying to hide it from the government. So when they do make the sale of the club, that he gets his money back.
Right.
You know what I mean? And what this is doing is prolonging the process of selling the club, which then will obviously make them end up going into administration, and Chelsea being out of the Premier League. Maybe it's something that should have happened 20 odd years ago.
and just out of curiosity, I wonder whether the government were this strict when all our clubs got bought by American owners. I'm just wondering whether there was that much due diligence and scrutiny over, because you have to remember what our owners did, loading that $500 million debt on the club. There was no sanctions there to say, well, you can't do that. You can't put United into debt. That was allowed. And this is where I have a bit of sympathy for Roman. I'm not saying whatever he's doing away from football I agree with, but the Glazers were allowed to come in and just dump all their US debt or a huge amount of it on Man United. We weren't in debt until they bought us.
I think quickly with the Roman situation, I think it's just the fact that he's linked with Putin and stuff like that. So every oligarch is going to get licked. Do you know what I mean? So that's just their way. It's almost like a big slap on the wrist. You come into our country, whether it's money laundering, we don't know. I'm not saying it is, or taxes or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're making anybody that's linked with Russia ain't taking part in any sport. Full stop.
But then he shouldn't have been allowed to. Then you have to remember he's always been linked with Putin. So
I know, but then
never been allowed to buy the club in the first place. Then
but what I'm trying to say, back then, we weren't having the situation we're having now, where what Putin is doing.
Yeah, but everyone knew the money was dirty, Norm.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is they knew that the money was dirty. Now, you see, it's all about moving the goalposts, isn't it?
Right.
So now you've got a situation that's going on in Ukraine where Putin is everybody's condemning it. So what everybody's trying to do is distance themselves from anybody that is Russian.
Right.
Anybody that has any association with Putin. They say, get out of bed now. Get out of bed. You was in bed with him now. You need to get out of bed. Yeah. And while you're at it, yeah, we're going to put some sanctions on you. Yeah. So there are some, there's hypocrisy there. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if they know it's dirty money, because they did a documentary on it, it's dirty money, why you allowing this to happen? But like now, it's really they have to be seen, all governments around the world have to be seen to be doing something. Right. And if you're Russian and you're owned by a Russian club, that's why in one sense I'm glad my man ended up at Everton. Do you know what I mean? Ustinov, because we could have been stuffed. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we're 100% owned by the Cronkies, so we just got to stick with them until something happens where we either get bought out by somebody else or Cronky changes the whole mindset of how the old Arsenal's run. But listen, it is what it is.
Looking at our situation. Then, so if Man United is a whatever UK or British business, then they should step in and say, right, we need you to take this debt off this British business or this UK business, however you want to term it. They should force the Glazers to clear the debt for Man United.
Yeah,
but there's clearly a sweetener that we don't know about why the debt is allowed, because it's
high
10
places,
years after the club.
High places, mate.
So yeah, you're going after Roman, but go after the Glazers as well.
Yeah,
because they're
listen. Man United, Arsenal, and Liverpool to a certain degree are cash cows. Yeah, exactly. They put the money again. That's what we are, and they just take the money out. See, Man United, you're in debt, but you're still selling shirts. You're the biggest club in the world. You're still selling merchandise, so it's servicing the debt. So the whole financial
it's servicing play. No, Norman, it's servicing the dividends checks.
Okay. Well,
not the debt. This is my problem.
The
debt stays.
Yeah.
And they keep pulling big dividend checks every year. And I'm like, clear the debt.
So if somebody comes in to buy the club now,
the debt is still there.
Right. Yeah.
$500 million. Come on, man. That's mad.
Wow. That's mad.
That
is crazy.
Yeah. So, and they've got away with that for time, Norm. And then every time we make money, they put it into the American football team.
Yeah, a bit like the Cronkies.
Right. So it's like, it's mad.
Yeah.
Listen, and that's what I'm saying for the transfer window now. Like summer transfer window. How much Ten Hag get because of what they've done with the American football team?
Yeah.
Again.
And don't forget those big TV screens as well.
Right. And fix the roof. Fix the blessed roof.
And fix the roof as well.
Give the tea lady a pay rise,
Just fix everything.
Give the tea lady and the
So on this note, right, Kofi said, fix everything.
Everything.
From top
right, Kofi.
to bottom. Right?
Exactly.
On that note, guys, thank you for staying with us again on another marathon run. 1 hour, 53 minutes in. Last week was 2 hours. We're gonna try and bring this down. We're doing well. We did start off well, but we're gonna try and get it down to an hour and a half. You know what I mean? It's been a long day. Cole, thanks. Appreciate you coming on.
Always.
And listen, next week we'll see what happens. We'll see who you will be playing in the final. Hopefully we'll do the business at the weekend. Hopefully Arsenal will do the business against Leeds. And Manu, just keep giving, bro.
Get it. The club that keeps on giving, mate.
Well, listen, guys, please hit the like button, subscribe and share if you're new. And we'll see you on the next What's Going On podcast. Take care and God bless. And Jans has put in there, you'll never walk alone. Big up, everybody.
Yes,
thank you again. Take care and God bless.
See you guys.